How's it going, everyone? We've got some pretty exciting PlayStation news to go over, as it looks like PS3 backwards compatibility is actually being worked on by One Implicit Conversions, who have worked on getting the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 classics on the PlayStation 4 and 5. Implicit Conversions left a tweet noting, "We're kicking this year off with 5 upcoming games, including Fear Effect and Fighting Force 1 and 2 partnership with limited run games. To get this started, we've built a public roadmap where you can follow progress and updates for syrup." And yes, we're looking into PlayStation 3, so there you have it. PlayStation 3 emulation and backwards compatibility is being looked into by Implicit Conversions. Now, there's actually a couple of things that I want to ascertain as far as PS3 backwards compatibility, because I don't think this will be every game is about to be getting backwards compatibility support. I just don't think that's going to happen. And what I am really curious about, looking at it from the lens of Sony, is I feel like there's a lot of money on the table to do remasters of PlayStation 3 games. They're not doing them for whatever reason. Like, the only PlayStation 3 remaster collection that we got was the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. However, we did get the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, so you would think that that dispels the idea of, oh, these games are too difficult to remaster because they were designed on the cell architecture. I don't know. That is only one trilogy of games, but we have not seen Infamous 1 and 2 get remastered. We have not seen the Killzone titles get remastered. That is a multiplayer game, but there's campaigns as well if you want to do campaign only, which sounds like something Sony would do. Motorstorm, Little Big Planet in the terms of, keeping those games offline, but you get the idea. There's so many PlayStation 3 games that I do actually think there's some money on the table for them to remaster those games and then price them fairly high, because I think those are remasters that people actually want, whereas something like Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, I don't think a lot of people really want that, but, it's a $10 upgrade. But if you do an Infamous remastered collection, you priced it at $40 to $50, you release it on PC as well, I think that could do very, very well. Whereas Implicit Conversions, with their work on the PlayStation 2 and PS1 games, they're just on PlayStation. I think you could generate a lot of revenue by releasing your back catalog on other platforms as well. Could they do that? Probably. Implicit Conversions probably could get ports ready to be released on PC as well. But that's just where I look at it, that there would be a lot of money in that. And we already have Resistance and Resistance 2. I believe Resistance 3 as well as a part of the PlayStation Plus streaming service. And if you actually want to add value to Plus as a service, adding PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility would be a great way to do so. I'm just looking at it from the lens of Sony trying to maximize revenue, because guess what? That's what they're all about these days, maximizing their revenue, which they're a business, they should be about that, but a lot of their decisions have just been a little wild to me and incredibly anti-consumer. But I digress on that. I just think that from that standpoint, remastering an Infamous 1 and 2 instead of offering it as a backwards compatible title that is the same and you price it at $14.99, $19.99, I feel like there would be more mileage out of a remaster. But I don't know, maybe you could do it as a backwards compatible release and then you could also remaster it and get the best of both worlds. Honestly, that's probably the actual way you maximize revenue. You just do both and people will buy both. That's actually realistically something they could do, and I think that's the best way to maximize revenue if we're concerned about doing that. But PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility has been this pie-in-the-sky dream for literally a decade at this point. When the PlayStation 4 came out, it didn't have backwards compatibility. I think a lot of people were understanding of it, but then Microsoft came out and implemented Xbox 360 emulation on the Xbox One, and we're a generation past that, and we still can't get any form of PlayStation 3 backwards compatibility, which is just insanity to me. And all the while, they're upping the price of PlayStation Plus, adding no value, stripping away value from the service. And yeah, this would be at least one way where they can enhance the value. And obviously, you would theoretically add the PlayStation 3 games as a part of your PS Plus premium catalog, but then also offer the games as standalone buy-to-play titles. And it would be great if people that have the digital copies of those games would retain those digital copies on PlayStation 5, because I remember when the PSN outage happened in 2011, they did offer us 2 of 4 games, I believe, and Infamous 1 was one of those games that a lot of people, yes, if you've been around with PSN for a long time, you have that in your digital library, and they carried over a lot of the digital purchases that people made of PlayStation 1 titles. You got those games on PS5 when those games were released as classics titles. I hope that's the case and would be the case for PS3 games like an Infamous 1 for the people that have that in their library. I think that would be pretty cool, that game just dropping in. Oh, would you look at that? I have that game in my library. That would be actually something that I think would build some goodwill with your longtime PlayStation fans, that a lot of them just have that game in their library because of the PSN outage of 2011. But we'll see how all of that turns out. Again, this has been one of the pie-in-the-sky dreams for so long, but it's just like, man, it's 2025. Can we have a little bit of preservation? And if we're not gonna do that, if we're not gonna have implicit conversions, figure out a way to do backwards compatibility, can we start doing more remaster collections of games that people actually need to be remastered? The Ratchet Future Collection, Bleach Soul Resurrection, Heavenly Sword, Mod Nation Racers. I can go on and on and on. The PlayStation 3 was one of my favorite platforms of all time because a lot of my teenage years were spent playing Killzone 2 over the summer breaks. Like, I have a lot of fond memories with the PlayStation 3, and the fact that that catalog is just getting lost in the ether is so depressing. And I get it, there's gonna be licensing issues and things of that nature that are gonna just make some games it's not gonna be reasonable to get those games as backwards compatible titles, but there's a bevy of first party games. There's so many high quality games, and outside of the Uncharted trilogy and God of War 3 as well got remastered, we haven't had a lot of remasterings of those first party titles. The God of War Origins collection, the God of War Classics collection. Either get backwards compatibility working or start actually remastering these games. Either way, you're gonna get money in hell. Like I said, if you really want to maximize revenue, your best bet is probably to do both. Like, really thinking about it, probably the best bet as far as generating the most amount of revenue is to release these games as classics to add value to PlayStation Plus Premium, get some people to sign up to that, then release the games. Maybe you could do it like Dino Crisis. I'm talking about from their lens, how they can maximize revenue. You make it exclusive to Plus Premium for a while, so you get people desperate and signing up to a subscription service, which we know they love that. Then you release the game as standalone, you know, $14.99, $19.99 purchases. Then you release an HD remaster of those games for $49.99, you know, Infamous 1 and 2 collection with throw in Festival of Blood. All right, we'll give you Festival of Blood 2, $49.99 on that. And then we'll release the game on PC as a collection. That is how you get mileage out of a classic game 4 times. Thank me later, Sony. There is your business. Free money that you can get by, you know, leveraging your classic IPs. That's the type of leveraging of the classic IPs expect. Some of y'all expect, oh, we're gonna get a new Jak and Daxter coming out. Yeah, I feel like what I just outlined is them actually the way Sony's gonna leverage their existing IPs. Nah, you ain't getting Killzone remastered with multiplayer. You'll get the campaigns because we need you to spend your multiplayer time on live service games, suckers. You can go play the Killzone campaign trilogy. We'll release that on PS Plus Premium, and then also we'll release it as standalone, and then we'll give you the HD collection. Now, that's obviously me just being incredibly pessimistic, but that's what I tend to do on this channel. But at least it's being looked into, and maybe the pie in the sky is a little bit more attainable than it was in previous times. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.